All right, everybody, welcome back to the #1 television program in the history of the entire universe. I am Brian Lee Durfee, author of The Forgetting Moon, The Blackest Heart, and The Lonesome Crown, all three books published by Simon & Schuster's Saga Press. Today I'm going to be reviewing The Little Friend by Donna Tartt. This book came out in 2002. Let's talk about the cover first, because you know I love graphic design and cover illustration. This has got a pretty decent cover. I like it. It wraps around there. You know, if you open it all the way up, you can see everything that's going on. Aesthetically, the book is pretty cool. It's got, even on the inside, it's got the same like theme going on. It's got a nice photo of the author here, which I will say, and I've mentioned this before in my review of The Goldfinch. And if you want to watch my detailed review of The Goldfinch, which is one of my favorite novels of all time, just type in my last name, Durfee, into your YouTube search bar, and then The Goldfinch, also type that in through some sort of pagan sorcery, then that review will magically appear upon your television screen. But what I was going to say about The Goldfinch is, when I reviewed it, I mentioned that Donna Tartt was my literary crush. I just watch all of the interviews that she's done on YouTube. I've read all of her books. One of my favorite authors of all time. I absolutely adore all of her books and everything she's done. And she's such a spectacular writer. I consider her, for those of you that are into horror novels, that's horror, not whore, horror novels, Horror. Horror novels. You might know who Robert McCammon is, the Southern writer that writes great horror novels like Boy's Life, Swan Song. I consider Donna Tartt to be like similar in a lot of ways to Robert McCammon. Just in writing style, just how great their writing style and their prose and their storytelling, the way their stories are structured. They're very similar to me. But anyway, this book, let's talk about this book now. The Little Friend. Oh, not to mention, Donna Tartt also wrote The Secret History. She's only written 3 books. She comes out with a new book about every 10 years. Let's hope she gets another one out soon. I'm going to look forward to it if it happens. A Southern Town. The prologue starts in a Southern town where 9-year-old Robin Dufresne is found dead, hanging from a tree. We don't know whether it's suicide, murder, an accident. Well, it can't be an accident. But the family can't quite recover from this tragedy. No killer was found. Harriet, our main character, Harriet, she was just a baby when her brother Robin died in these mysterious circumstances. So that's the prologue. 12 years after the prologue, so young Harriet is now 12 to 13 years old, is where the entire story takes place. With this young girl, we get to learn about her life and how she's dealing with, a lot of different things. It's a very coming of age tale, much like I said. It reminds me a lot of Boy's Life by Robert McCammon. There's so much. If you love Boy's Life by Robert McCammon about that young boy, you're going to love The Little Friend by Donna Tartt about this young girl. It's a coming of age tale with some of the most beautiful writing you will ever read. I was just absorbing every sentence of this book in wonder. I was just like blown away. Just like this writer, Donna Tartt, every single word is perfect. I wouldn't take out one word of this book. So anyway, Harriet is 12. She's got her sister Allison, who is now 16. Allison was 4 years old when her brother died. So we got these 2 sisters who have a very magical image in their heads of their brother that passed away when they were so young. They've put him on a bit of a pedestal. I mean, they look at the old photos of him and they're obsessed with just anything about him. Now, Allison, the 16-year-old, is awkwardly pretty. She plays a big role in the story. Harriet, of course, our main character, is a weird little child, a weird 12-year-old girl in every possible way that you can be weird. We've got Dix and Charlotte, the parents of the, and they've got their issues, and I won't go into that. It's a little bit spoilery. Edie is the grandma, Aunt Libby, and then that's just the family. There's more in the family, but I won't mention everybody. And then there's just a host of characters that are friends and classmates of Harriet, our main character, the 12-year-old girl. And Harriet, she's a student of history. She's inquisitive, overly knowledgeable for a girl her age. Maybe a little bit too. I mean, I guess if there was one kind of negative thing I would say about this book is Harriet does seem to, for a 12-year-old girl, does seem to know everything about literature and politics. And has an opinion on it. It's kind of charming. You know, we all like those prodigies. And I'm getting the feeling that maybe Harriet is based a little bit on Donna Tartt herself, because if you read anything about Donna Tartt, like on Wikipedia or things like that, she was a bit of a child prodigy. So maybe, I mean, because everybody just thought she was brilliant from such a young age, and she got her books published and poetry published at such young ages. And so maybe this is a little bit autobiographical. I mean, maybe I'm thinking Harriet is kind of the author. Like, he's like, this is the author we're reading about. Like, maybe Donna Tartt herself was very inquisitive and precocious. Which, you know, having Harriet, the young girl in the book, being that way, leads us right into the gist of the plot. I mean, since she is such a curious kid, since she is such a overly smart kid, she is decided that she's going to solve the 12-year-old. I mean, her brother died 12 years ago. The murder was never solved. She's going to solve it. She's going to be the PI that solves it. And then once she solves it, she's going to exact her revenge. That's the basic plot. And through this plot, we get to know her and her friend Healy as they launch into this quest, this coming-of-age quest to figure things out. And I will say that the quest to solve the murder is almost secondary to just Harriet navigating life and being a precocious. I should stop using that word. I don't need to use that word anymore. We'll edit the word precocious out. 90% of the time I've used it. We'll edit that out in editing. But anyway, you know, we get to see small town life, very Stephen King-esque, very Robert McCammon-esque, boys' life-esque, small town life, with even random pot shots at Mormon doctrine. I was going to mention that early on before everybody tuned out of the video. But there are actually, growing up Mormon and being a Mormon missionary myself when I was 19, some of the pot shots that little Harriet takes about the Mormons that live in the apartment across the way were delightful. I giggled at them. I mean, I was like, that's kind of funny. I didn't giggle. I don't giggle. Let's get that straight. I don't giggle. I laughed inwardly. Anyway, Harriet does seem older for her years, but that's the plot. I mean, we just meander through this 700 pages, 549 pages of this interwoven, coming of age, young girl, smart young girl, murder mystery, what's going to happen, all of the friends in the community that surround her and her family, all of the drama and intermingling of all those characters. It's absolutely wonderful. It's just a wonderful book. I mean, I have not read The Secret History. Well, I've read The Secret History twice, but I need to reread it again for the channel to do a review. But this is a 10 out of 10 book. Donna Tartt's The Goldfinch is a 10 out of 10 book. Now, I have to give this one, because I did not like this one. I mean, I loved this one, but I didn't love it as much as those other two. So what do? Do I still give it 10 out of 10? Maybe I'll give it a 9.99999 out of 10. That's my official final offer.